Hello, everyone. My name's Hank Sutalo,
And I'm Casey McBride.
and we're here with another fun episode of Stir Crazy Shamans. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited.
Yes.
Wow, I'm just seeing a delay on myself here. Wow, that was just kind of weird. We're here with another fun episode of Stir Crazy Shamans, and here with Casey McBride and our friend Jamison. He's been on the last 2 Sundays with us, and we're streaming a little bit differently today. So we do not see real-time comments from all the places we're streaming to. So it's more important than ever. Please head over to the YouTube channel, make your comments there. We'll remind you throughout the time here, but really important for us to be able to interact with you. If you do have questions, comments, go to YouTube and make the comments there. How's everybody doing today?
Oh, beautiful. Feeling so much magic. Jamison, how are you?
Not too bad, man. Just sore and tired. You know, life, baby.
So Jamison, when I asked him if he wanted to be on again, he said, yes, I definitely want to be on. But then he mentioned, well, at least I think he thought it was just sort of in passing, but I knew there was a reason for it. But he told me that his back was really hurting him. He had like twisted it on the way to work. And he just said, can you send over some healing energy? And I said, I'll do you one better. Why don't you come on the live stream and we will do a full shamanic healing session for you, both me and Hank working on you in spirit, virtually in tandem. So so that is the magic that's going to happen today for all who are witnessing.
Yeah, and we don't know how it's going to look or be or anything like that, because when you start doing healing work, the last thing you want to do is have some sort of expectation or preconceived notion of how the healing's going to go. It's in the moment, like what is the energy that's going to be the greatest contribution for Jamison. So that's what we will be focusing on.
Yeah, and so this will be a beautiful, unique experience. So we'll see what Spirit has in store for us. So I don't know, are we gonna jump right into it, Hank, or how are we gonna do this?
I will let you feel that out.
Okay. Well, what I'm just gonna say is I want to have you call in the different energies,
Sure.
Pachamama, Mama Kia, all that good stuff.
Yeah, only because I know more Quechua right now.
Yes, that's exactly why.
Let's just be honest with it. Okay.
Yep. And then.
Oh yeah.
Are we getting ready to start now?
No, I don't know. I thought that's why you were saying it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to bring in the element of fire here when we go to get started. So let me do that. Okay. I feel like fire needs to be very present, even more so than it is.
Wilkanina, ompwe, which is sacred fire. Bring your healing here in Quechua. And for those of you, while we're waiting for him to get the fire started, I've been studying for about 8 years now. I don't know, like a long time with Danzing Kirkman, who's the author of Inca Mountain Magic. And he is a Paco, which means nature mystic, and Ultima Sayuk, which is a 4th level priest, Koreka Koreka, Great Tree of Coca, a name given by the community. And just an all around well-rounded shaman, quote unquote. I'm using the word loosely as in the umbrella context, but he's trained with all kinds of different pacos, different curanderos, and all kinds of things. And I've had the honor of working with them. And now Casey is on the shaman apprenticeship for the first time this year, and I'm sure it won't be his last time, because once you get a dose of Zane, it's like an addiction. Like I don't know how deep the man's wealth of knowledge goes, but I am anxious to discover more every time I'm with him.
And where was I going with that? Oh, and although this is my first time really learning shamanism from a human teacher, I have been taught by the spirits for a very long time.
Yeah. When Casey came to healing, when we reconnected after years, I had told you too. I'm like, you already do this. Like you just didn't have like a textbook, or you didn't have a structure around it. And I'm like, so you don't need to take the program. If you'd like to take it, I still think you get a lot out of it. But at the same time, it's not something that, when you're taught directly from the spirit world, it's not necessarily something that you need, but it definitely can help you along, I guess would be the way to say it.
All right. So we got the sacred fire here. So I think it's time. So if you could call in the elements for us, and I am going to call in my guides as well. Jamison, as we're doing this, when you call in Yanapakuna, right? When you say that is when we are to call in all of our individual guides, right?
Yeah, Yanapek is your spirit, your 7-pack of spirit beings in this tradition. First are your animals, and the rest are other spirit beings. But at that time, you also call in your guides, teachers, angels. You do that when we call in Quichi, the rainbow.
Quichi.
Yeah, so it goes around, and when you hear Quichi, after Quichi is where you energetically call in all your guides. Now, that being said, if you have a guide that really resonates with Earth, call them in. You know, like you don't have to go in the same order. Like when it's time to call in a guide, like if it's an angel and it feels right to call them in on air or whatever, then roll with it. And just to speak to, I know some people are tuning in probably on Shaman's Way, not readings today. We're doing a live shamanic healing on air, and we will do some questions and things after that. And we're even thinking about, after we test the waters with how this works, bringing people on camera from the streams and everything, and just working with them and doing little shamanic healing. So this is more healing focused today. And that being said, just because we're working on Jamison doesn't mean that other people don't have similar energies that they could be releasing as well. So if you're tuning in, take this as an auspicious moment that, you didn't know what we were doing today. Maybe, just maybe, the energy we're working with, there is a medicine for you also. So don't think that it's, one healing, one person. No, everybody watching now or in the future could gain benefit and lightness from this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So.
Okay.
I'm feeling it.
Ooh. And I think I do want to do the actual toning because.
Let's do it.
Okay. Pachamama. Ahaya Pachamama. Ompui, 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 iari, mama aipa, ompui, 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 hahaya, amaru, ompui, 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 iari pachamamita kuna, ompui, ompui, ompui. Mama kia. Ahia mama kia, ompui, ompui, ompui. Iari mama uno, ompui, ompui, ompui. Ahia mama kocha, ompui, ompui, ompui. Iari taxererpu, ompui, ompui, ompui. Ahia wilka chaiwa, ompui, ompui, ompui. Iari atarango, ompui, ompui, ompui. Iari Taiwan tan waira, ompui, ompui, ompui. Iari hatan waira kuna, ompui, ompui, ompui. Iari werka waira kuna, ompui, ompui, ompui. Iari hatan sumakuntar, ompui, ompui, ompui. Iari sawikinti, ompui, ompui, ompui. Inti. Iari inti taita wirki inti taita ompui, ompui, ompui. Iari taxi muhu maru, ompui, ompui, ompui. Iari wirka nina, the sacred fire, ompui, ompui, ompui. Bring your healing here. Nike wirka nina, the transformational power of fire. Hiya! Whoa, wait, we have to chant it first. Koichi. Koichi. Iari Quichikuna, ompui, ompui, ompui. Iari Yanapakuna, ompui, ompui, ompui. To everyone who's listening, Iari means victory and praises. Then the guide that you want to call in, ompui, ompui, ompui means bring your healing here. So in this way, energetically, whether you use these words or not, take this moment to call your guides, your angels, whether you're watching this live or in the future, call in your spirit beings that could be a contribution for you and what you can receive from today. Iari Metatran, ompui, 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 iari encantos kuna, ompui, 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 iari Orisha kuna, ompui, 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 iari papalegma, ompui, 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 iari chaska kuna, ompui, 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 haya, wilka nuna chaska kuna, ompui, ompui, ompui. And Viracocha. Iari Viracocha. Ompui, ompui, ompui. Ahaya Viracocha. Ompui, ompui, ompui. Nike, arpi chai, sonkolai. Jamison, since this is a physical healing, I'm going to give you a bit of instruction to do a certain symbol on your stomach. This is to call in a certain spirit being called the Muki, or these little beings that are responsible for physical healing. So right where your stomach is here, you're going to tap 3 times, and then go down, tap 3 more times. And for each tap, we're just waking up the energy for the lower, middle, and upper world. And then 3 circles, Iari Mukikuna, Ompui, 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 starting small, a little bit bigger, Iari Mukikuna, Ompui, Ompui, Ompui. And then a 3rd circle, Iari Mukikuna, Ompui, Ompui, Ompui. And then think of the Reiki symbol, if you know Reiki, but just a little green spiral of energy out. That's their symbol, calling in the Mukis and just inviting them to work on all the physical things, all the past boulders that might be holding you down, and inviting them to start working with you right now.
And these 2 energies that I see, I call upon you, please be purified and distilled. Bring only the highest vibration of your essence into Jamison's body, but incorporate your energy and your healing now. Iraya Mura Veyanaya Ireara
So feeling very called to invite Jamison's ancestry line into this healing experience, that if this manifestation of pain is some sort of tether from a past life, some sort of unnecessary karmic relation, we invite any ancestors here now for this healing as well. Yari Wilken Munna Kunna, all the sacred souls that need this healing, all three, all three, all three. Kuranda, 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 kurandero. 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 Kurandera. Kuranda, 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 kurandera. Kuranda, 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 kurandera. Kuranda, 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 kurandera. Kuranda, 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 kurandera.
And to all of these energy lines which exist attached here at the base of the spine, at the level of the navel, and at the heart. Jamison, I'm grabbing onto all of these cords. I want you to be in the space of allowance for me to sever all of the cords that no longer serve you. Knowing that the cords which needs to be there, the cords that serve you for the light and the good that serve to help you to grow and heal will remain. But in this instant, I'm going to sever all of the cords that no longer serve you. Being in the space for allowing that, relaxing. And I call upon these three energies. Please bring yourself in, incorporate, and serve to fill any areas that are now have been cleansed out. Fill them with the lightest, purest energy that Jamison's body will use to transmute into whatever it needs to heal itself. I call upon these three energies now. Incorporate. Riya kusa heya nakasa kurapaya yataya rexe tara hunakia yermanai vare yermakaya surma kurvare surma hayare yurmavre Furma, Raksata, Maya.
And just to run a quick clearing, all the places that anyone has aligned and agree with, or resisted, or acted to, other people's judgments, definitions, and conclusions about who they were supposed to be, had to be, could have been in this lifetime or any lifetime that has been impacting this ever-present moment of now, preventing you to step into true possibilities of infinite being. We destroy and uncreate it, times against it, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pot, for all nine traits, boys and girls.
Jamison, I get the sense that a lot has shifted, but do you feel still a little bit of heaviness in the heart, like towards the bottom of the heart? Do you feel that?
Yeah, definitely do.
Okay. Bring your attention into that area. Go fully into it, and I'm going to have you ask a few questions into that area on your body. And as you ask these questions, don't listen to the mind as it wants to give answers. What you're looking for is feeling, how that feeling changes. So the first question that you're going to ask into this area of heaviness at the bottom of the heart: what is this feeling recognizing that I am not fully aware of? Just feel. What is the lesson that is attempted to being... What is the lesson being taught to me right now through this heaviness? What is the lesson being taught to me right now through this heaviness? Just feel. Just feel. No need to think about it. Just feel. In this moment, is it possible for me to learn this lesson without the heaviness involved? Just feeling. Do I need this heaviness in this moment right now? If I were to let go of this heaviness, would that be okay for me right now? Am I willing to let go of this heaviness right now? What would it take right now for me to be ready to instantly, effortlessly let go of this heaviness? Is it okay if I let go of this heaviness right now? What can I allow into my mind, my body, and my spirit? What can I do and what can I be in order to fully release this in this moment? What can I do to release even deeper? What can I do right now in order to release any lingering feelings of heaviness here? What is the other energy associated here that I have not fully recognized? Just feeling, no need to actually think about it. Am I ready to let go of this energy as well? Is it okay for me to let go of this energy right now? What can I allow to happen in this moment right now for me to fully, completely release all of this right now? What can I allow to flow into my mind, body, energy, being, spirit to replace that which is left with only light, beautiful, joyful, loving, peaceful vibrations? What new energy can I bring in that will create even more lightness, even more comfort in the body right now? And now ask, how am I feeling now? And just checking in with you, Jamison, how are you feeling now?
I'm feeling pretty good. Definitely hungry. Like, very hungry. I had, like, it felt like I was suspended like a puppet for a little bit. And then it was really strange. It was during Hank, when Hank was working with the energy, it felt like I was drawn up on like a puppet, you know, how, like somebody held up the strings high. And then when Casey said to cut the energies that don't need to be here, it was like I was set down and I could feel like this white light. That's all I can describe it as. That was meant to be there, like hold me, and then I felt like loose, like I was laid back down. And it was weird because I felt energy in places that I think I needed, like in my like my gut area, and I had a headache earlier today, and it felt like someone just reached in and went yoink and pulled it out of my forehead, like off to the side. It was like over here. Yeah, that was very interesting. Like the suspension that I felt was really interesting because like it literally felt like someone just like picked me up and I was just dangling there in space.
So remaining in space of allowance, there's still a little bit of work to be done. How is the low back feeling, or how's your back feeling right now?
decent. Pretty decent. Like still like a little heavy in the shoulders.
Okay. So we're going to bring our attention back there. We're going to do a little more work to release these energies in the back.
And just speaking to one comment really quickly, if you're just tuning in, someone was asking if it's a healing for everyone. Though we're focusing on Jamison, everyone that's tuning in, anything similar that you have energetically that is ready to be released and healed, absolutely you can get the healing experience from it. So just watch in a state of allowance and just ask the question, what am I ready to heal in this moment, in this ever-present moment of now? What am I willing to receive from spirit for my own well-being and possibilities? And you will receive a healing as well, even though we're focused on one person.
So I'm going to like laser line focus. Let me know. So I'm feeling like on the left side, like at the top of around the like scapula, in between the scapula and your spine. Is there a particularly painful area there? Tight, painful?
Yeah.
Like right about like back here?
Yep.
Okay. And then I feel like there's another area around mid back on like this side, on the right side here.
Yeah, that's where that baseball was, or felt like that baseball was there.
Okay. So those are the two areas. Hank, why don't you take the top area that I just described, and I'll take the baseball area.
Very good.
Okay.
Can check.
See Yomaya Nanaya Ranakayar Manari Surmanna Hare Yamnae Yamare Yarusai Kurmate Ranaya Ranahaya Yaya Yermanaya Masareya Kura Kura Mayare Duram Duranaya Dasaya Oh, yes. This being of light and fire here who has shown up, please bring your healing into the spot on the back. Work with me in order to release what here. And this being of water that is just shown up. Bring your healing here. Work in tandem with the fire in perfect unison and balance. Help me to release this energy. Right there. That. I grab onto that. mind, body, and being of Jamison and all that's beyond and within. Be in the space of allowing this right here to release. Recognize that you do not need this. That you can release this and still be whole, happy, peaceful, protected. Call upon the highest loving energies to fill space where this hucha has been removed from. And this program, this stream of complex geometry that's coming into this space, please work in a way that will be perfectly incorporated on all levels, from physical to spiritual and beyond. Implant your code for the perfect healing of the body. Restructure, transmute, heal. And I call upon the beautiful, powerful, grounding energy at the core of Pachamama, at the core of Mother Earth, which is connected to the core of the sun, which is connected to the core of the galaxy, which is connected to the core of all that is. Bring your beautiful, healing, peaceful, grounded energy into Jamison's body, through the floor below, up into his feet, through the central column, in the center of the legs, merging at the hips and traveling up the spine, flowing out through the top of the head, and down and around the body, and then back to the earth, continuing to flow this circulation of life-giving, vital, grounding energy from the earth.
Jamison, do you feel complete with this healing?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Cool. And before I start to thank the spirits, Casey, was there any other energetic things that needed to be addressed in this moment?
Right now, that was like the perfect conclusion point. We both felt that.
Yeah. Hiya, Pachamama, Nike, 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 Pachamama. Hiya, Mama Aipa, Nike, 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 Iari Pachamamita Kuna, Nike, Nike, Nike. Iari Amaru, Nike, Nike, Nike. Hiya, Mama Kia, Nike, 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 Wilka Sumat Mama Kia. Iari Mama Kocha, Mama Uno, Nike, 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 Haya Wilka Chaiwa, Nike, 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 Iari Atarango, Nike, 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 Iari Taxe Lerpu, Nike, Nike, Nike. Haya Taiwantan Waira, Nike, 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 Iari Hatan Waira Kuna, Nike, Iari Wilka Waira Kuna, Nike, Iari Hatan Sumat Kunta, Nike. Ahaya sawikinti and Nike and Nike and Nike wurika sumak sawikinti. Ahaya inti taita wurika inti taita Nike and Nike and Nike iari taxe muhumaru Nike and Nike and Nike. Iari Kuichi and Nike and Nike and Nike Kuichi. Iari Yanapakuna and Nike. Iari Pakarina Kuna and Nike, Iari Itopukuna and Nike, Iari Apukuna and Nike, Iari Mustakuna and Nike. Ahaya, Parishakuna and Nike, Iari Papaleba and Nike, Nike, Nike Papa. Iari Wadka Cheska Kuna and Nike, 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 Iari Wadka Nuna Cheska Kuna and Nike. Ahaya, Wirakocha, Nike, 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 Wirakocha, Arpi Chai Sankolai, Arpi Chai Sankolai. Arpichai Sankolai. Iari Katari. Iari Katari Kuna. Nike, Nike, Nike. Arpichai Sankolai. Iari means victory and praises. Katari is your own unique voice in this world. Kuna simply makes it plural, so at the end there singing, we're saying victory and praises to all your own unique voices in this world for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And in my own words, I thank all of the incredible, beautiful beings and all of the wonderful, dynamic, powerful healing energies that were present during this session. Thank you for working in us, with us, through us, in order to facilitate this incredible, beautiful healing session. May the healing that took place today take effect on all levels, and may the healing be perfect in the ever-present moment of now, but continue in its effects to continue to unfold more and more healing that we weren't even aware needed to take place, to heal us on all levels, continuing forward in the ever-present moment of now. I thank you, thank you, thank you.
Walikia.
How are you feeling, Jamison?
Very light. I feel like a rock was taken off my shoulders, and it's interesting how all the energy I felt now I like. And I said this earlier, it sounds kind of goofy, but I'm starving now. Like, I wasn't earlier. It's just suddenly I just feel like, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, hypothetically speaking, what if a part of your soul hasn't eaten for many years because it was hanging out somewhere else, and now it wants to eat again? Maybe. Or you could just be hungry.
It's possible, but no, I definitely understand. It's weird because like I felt like I was sick earlier, and now I don't feel like that. Like, it was hard to describe things that happen on the spiritual level.
Yeah. So let me ask, how are those spots that we focus on the end and the back, how are they now?
Everything feels normal.
Yeah, so we did it. Yes.
Like, I don't have any sharp pains or. Yes, it all feels good. It feels right.
So Jamison, before I was having to talk to him a little bit about the way, because me and Hank are very careful about how we phrase things. And, I think you had said something along the lines when I said we were going to do the shamanic healing. You're like, I'm open to whatever, and we'll see. And I'm like, no, man, you have to be in this space. If you are ready to allow this to happen, we can heal you instantly and fully. And so I'm glad that you were in the space of allowing the healing to take place, because look at where we are now. Just
and I feel like that's the real trick to healing, is like it's almost like trust, and you have to trust that it will feel better. And if you don't have that trust, you're blocking off the healing energy. And trust might not be the right word, but it was like it kept like reverberating in my mind to
trust, faith, something akin to that.
Exactly, and like to not tell myself to allow it, to just allow it.
Yes.
That comes back to something that Zane had said in our last class, that you don't tell your body how to digest a sandwich. You just eat the sandwich and it does it. You just have to trust and know and allow. Allowance is that. There's nothing you have to do. It's just being with it and allowing it. It comes quite naturally if we can get out of our own way.
Right. No, that's exactly it. Like when Casey and I had talked about it, and I said, we'll see what happens. It was that like part of my mind that's like the when you question things, and you're trying to stop yourself from questioning. You just have to be there in that moment, right then, without worry, without asking for something, without needing something, just complete, like becoming a sponge and just absorb. Like when the sponge is in the water goes into the sponge. It doesn't not go into the sponge. It's really hard for me to describe that, like that thought process, that to get yourself in that right mindset is not an easy thing, especially if you feel like you're in this body, you're in this world, and sometimes it's hard to accept that all of you is also in multiple places. Like the energy of you is there too, and accepting it and flowing with it. Words don't describe this kind of shit. Pardon me.
Well, and most people try to figure things out with their mind that relies on words and structure and everything. But all this stuff is out of form and out of structure. It's in the natural or the unlimited potential of the universe. It's beyond words, and it's hard to get into the space sometimes. Not impossible, but just to step out of getting caught up with all the structure and being able to open up to a new possibility.
Right.
Which my hope is that everybody watching today was able to. And if you didn't, guess what? You can go back and watch it again, and see what happens now. or if you're just catching the tail end of this, because I know we have people joining us now, if you go back to the beginning, this healing was just as much for everybody watching as it is for Jamison. Your pain might not be manifesting as a shoulder and back issue. It might be manifesting as something else. But energetically, what if you got to that physical manifestation the same way? And even if you didn't, what energy, like there's that energy pool that was created here. You can tap into it in an unlimited number of ways. It didn't have to be directed at you. It created the space that you're connected to now. What healing are you willing and able to allow and receive right now? It doesn't matter if you have the same things as Jamison or not.
Right, and like I'm pretty sure that like some people might be worried, like, oh, but this was done earlier. How can I tap into this that happened then? And there is no time when it happened. It is, and so people can tap into that healing energy anytime, anywhere, if you just fully accept that it's there.
I think even quantum physics now is showing that time is an illusion. Everything's happening at the same time. Quantum entanglement, I think, is one of the terms they throw around with that. So what if time is literally just something that you use to measure perceived distance traveled, or whatever words you want to use to it, and it's malleable and flexible and breakable, and you don't have to abide by the rules of it? What if you could step out of that and receive the healing no matter when you're watching this? How cool would that be?
Right.
What would it take for you to allow it?
What's crazy, Hank, is like literally this morning I was reading about quantum entanglement. I'm not even joking.
You were preparing yourself. It went into your consciousness. Maybe that helped for sure. Who knows?
That's just great.
And
so funny.
If you're watching now, like as I see someone made a comment that they feel a little heaviness in their stomach, there is a hugely powerful technique called the Shamanic Healing, which I want to walk everybody through now. So if you're watching this and you feel any residual gunk, in shamanism we call it puja, which just means heavy. It's not a judgment about it being bad or being good, because that heaviness created a pearl of wisdom for you that you could use to create possibility if you like. But you don't need the heaviness to have that pearl, right? So if something trudged up for you right now, and you're ready to let go of it, all you do is become very open and receptive. And we'll call in Iari, summon Jikui, Ompui, Ompui, Ompui. Victory and praise His Father's reign. Bring your healing here. And allow the energy field to open up and this purple iridescent rain to cascade down through your entire body, being, and beyond, through all time and space, through all lifetimes, and every aspect of existence, both known and unknown. This purple rain cascades through it all, effortlessly washing any heaviness that you have down to the bottom of the energy field, where we create this beautiful package of hucha for our beloved Pachamama, Mother Earth. For her, this is chocolate. She looks at it as a great blessing. Think of it like going to a friend's house and bringing a fine bottle of wine to go with dinner. That's how you present this beautiful package to our beloved Earth Mother. And you gift her this hucha. And with this hucha, she will grow and create blessings for you. And if you become very receptive, even in this moment, all that heaviness you just gave her, you will feel the same purple iridescent rain energy cascading back up from the earth, going back up to source, creating this convection flow of energy from source through you, taking the heaviness back to source, and then from source through you back to source, and creating this flow of energy that, if you are an allowance, it will effortlessly flow and let all the gunk go. Yaksi, yaksi mui, maxi pui, hucha, ompui, ompui, ompui. Which just means you're going, you're already gone, and thanking the hucha for its gift. So hopefully for those of you experiencing a little heaviness, you can still be an allowance of that energy flowing. Just let it flow and allow that heaviness to go.
Namanchakui is like my new favorite thing. I absolutely love it. And the way that well, maybe not today, but and maybe on the next time we do the next healing one that we're going to do, I want to guide everyone through like a longer, more extended, like version of that.
We'll do it with Zane. That's like 45 minutes long, no joke.
Oh,
like that. This was intended to be a little taste. And, you know, healing can be in an instant.
Yes.
And it's enough just to let it flow. But there's also something to be said to being immersed in the energy, and your energy body really gets to know it that way. And if you wanted to learn it energetically, if you have any sacred site by you, or even a Catholic church would work, because churches are wakas. They're these natural eyes, right? It is a portal, a crossroads between worlds, because people go there to make their prayers. So even a church of Satanism, whether you have a point of view in that or not, is a place where people go to whisper their prayers to the upper world. So it creates these natural portals. So you go there, and with just the intention to connect to the upper world energy, you're where the energy is naturally present. And you can learn to bring that energy in energetically, and then you find a place like a cave where you are naturally in the womb of Pachamama to let go of the heaviness, and you're teaching your energy body how to do this by using natural hotspots. So anyway, but yes, and to Casey's point, you can do a much more lengthy, elaborate version of the Saman Chikui and make that available for people.
Yeah. Oh, that was beautiful. That was great.
And a lot of people tuning in saying they've subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much. And someone saying thank you. That was wonderful. And they were enjoying it with their coffee. We really appreciate you. And bringing the healing energy of coffee, too. That has a lot of good cleansing energy. It's a natural diuretic. So, I mean, that was perfect energy to add in to get rid of the hooch chips.
Oh, yes.
But if anybody has any questions, there was a lot going on there, and I was not as vocal as Casey. There was, well, I'll give you some stuff behind the scenes in a minute, Jamison, too. But if anybody has any questions about anything, now's a great time to ask. We're already coming up in an hour, kind of winding down. But we also want to honor, if you have questions and you've been with us, we definitely want to address those. So.
Yes. Ask your questions in the comments. And then while we're waiting for that, Jamison, do you have any questions about what just happened?
I don't really have questions. I thought one of the things that really almost weirded me out was when we were giving thanks to the energies for their healing. My internet started going crazy. It's been clear. It was like the energy was being released and let go, and it was like making things glitch all around me. And that was really interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know whose internet was. During a lot of it, I was hearing some weird things going on, and it is gone. I don't know whose thing it was or what was happening, but I took it as just spirit being with us and doing some work.
Definitely. And like Casey, I don't know if you noticed, I had a new spirit guide with me during that healing that I've never met before. It took the form of a peacock and was like dancing around in front of me. And a being of energy put its hand on my shoulder during the healing. It was just really interesting. There were two spirit guides that I didn't recognize. And
No, I didn't notice those. Well, I noticed the maybe this is the being that put their hand on your shoulder. I'm not sure, but there was like a very almost like some kind of like fire deity that I think I called out at one point and asked to help me assist, and the water being as well. And so I don't know, may have been one of those things. But the peacock I didn't notice. I was tuning into spirit guides and spirit guide communication. I have to tune myself to a different frequency than when I'm calling in like the energies like I was. So I just wasn't tuned in the same way.
And I have two awarenesses with that, and it may or may not resonate, but one of the things that I did related to this was a deep ancestral wound that I perceived needed a soul retrieval. And so if you go back and watch, there was one part where I was holding my mesa out, and I was basically calling in that soul piece, and then I blew it into the camera to reinsert it back into you. And I felt that with that soul piece, it came with it like this caregiver, guardian type of energy. So that was two energies. I don't know if it's the two energies you were perceiving, but ask yourself, like, was one of those me? Was one of those a part of me? And and just come to your own awareness around that. But that was one thing that I didn't. It wouldn't have been timely to try to walk you through anything with that. I'm like, I'm just going to do it. And since you brought up the two beings, that was my awareness that there were two energies that came with it. The soul piece and one other thing. Yeah.
I really want to actually, it's goofy, later tonight or later today, I want to rewatch that because like I had my eyes closed and I was accepting everything. I don't know. I wondered if I can see those moments again. And I'm pretty sure I will.
And there was one time I was walking around my mesa and I had my staff and I was doing a pachacuti, like a reversal thing for you too.
I had my eyes closed too, so I didn't see any of that.
But for the most part, the other thing I was doing is an access technique, though I'm not trained in it. It's called Symphony of Possibilities, where you just go in and you kind of dance with the molecules of your being to arrange them in a way that will create possibility and remove limitations. So it's kind of like an atomic car wash, I guess. I can't explain it. And you go in and you just kind of like shake everything up, shake out the rucha, and like you just let everything recapitulate through time and space to create possibility. So that you couldn't see my hands probably off camera, but I was doing like this thing, just holding the space and just kind of dancing with the energy, which is because I look at the shaman as a conductor of the symphonies of the universe anyhow. So it's like it kind of fits right in Symphony of Possibilities. I didn't take the class, but like, well, yeah, I'm doing this anyway, so maybe this is what I'm doing.
And that, oh, go ahead, Jamison. Yeah, you got your question.
And Hank, like the one time I opened my eyes I was hearing this beautiful sound. What was that? It looked like a glass triangle.
It is a glass triangle. It is this is a crystal quartz singing pyramid. I have a couple of them. And so for those of you who are meeting me for the first time, one of the trade names, I guess if you want to call it that I go by, is the Sonic Shaman. I can't find my wand. I will bring it for you in a minute. But this creates, like, each side creates a slightly different variation, and it creates like thousands of little micro frequencies that create these harmonics that just do all kinds of fun stuff. And I'm just looking for my wand so I can activate it again. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. I dropped it on the floor.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, but here's this illustrated for everybody again. Shamans had the greatest toys. Yeah.
Ooh, I felt a little clearing there.
Awesome.
And then a couple things Annie was saying, Casey, your throat singing is amazing. What language is language Casey is chanting in? That would be light language.
Yes.
And then a couple things. Someone was asking, do you have a way to slow your mind before sleep to make dreaming more effective and less tiresome or overwhelming? I have an affirmation for that, but I'll let Casey speak to it first because I think you are way more active in the dream world than I.
Actually, no. I'm more active in journeying, but not dreaming.
Oh, okay.
I'm more active in dreaming than I am.
Well, my friend, one of my teachers at Lake Tavis, she is the foundational pastor at Lilida, which is a spiritualist community in New York, in the States. And she gave us this affirmation during class to kind of set the tone for dreaming. I give thanks as I know my physical body is asleep and receiving healing. I am learning and serving on the highest levels of life. Waking up in the morning, refreshed and renewed, remembering all that I have learned, that is for mine or anyone else's highest good. Now, if you are okay with other information anyhow, you can leave that part off, waking up aware of all that I have learned, and you don't have to throw that last part in. I find that sometimes when I do that, then I get more information, and then you can ask, well, what can I create with this for someone's highest good? But that's a great little affirmation to set the attention to remember more of your dreams and to slow down the body. And when I had my first child, Jamison, you'll probably want this affirmation because it was when we had the first kids, you know how sleep goes away.
Yes.
So like with using this affirmation, even if I got 15 minutes of sleep, 30 minutes of sleep, it did not matter. I woke up and I was spot on, which is one reason sometimes I'll be up till like 3 a.m, sending Casey messages and stuff, knowing that he's sleeping, but he'll see it in the morning. And then I wake up with only 3 hours of sleep and I'm fine.
That's great. And also for like one of the techniques I use to slow my mind down when I'm trying to sleep and get into the dream world, and it helped me actually become lucid during my dreams more often, is when your mind is racing, try to start creating inside your head a landscape, like a park bench, and try to like listen to the birds, feel the wind on your face, the grass moving around you, and like put yourself in that spot. And like when those thoughts try to run all over the place, keep trying to bring yourself back to that landscape that you're creating in your mind. And eventually you'll be able to suddenly visualize yourself in a beautiful landscape. And now this is what I do for myself and may not work for anybody else, but I find that when I create more things in my dream world, it helps take away from the mind that I have going crazy at the time before I go to sleep.
And that was actually pretty much going to be my suggestion, was to try shamanic journeying. I know there are some nights where, you know, the mind is just, I get really excited about things. And I'm just thinking over and over and over again. And suddenly I'm like, all right, there's a lot of energy here that needs to be directed somewhere. I'm going into the spirit world. And so I just journey, and I have all these beautiful adventures and experience healing, and I just keep journeying past like where I would normally like come back, and I just continue to have fun, do whatever, and then eventually like I just slip from journey into like continuing but unconscious and sleeping. That's what happens a lot for me. And if you're interested in learning about that, that is something that I also teach.
Yeah. And then the other thing with this too would be to ask what am I aware of that I don't want to acknowledge? Because when the mind gets really busy at night, and you have that moment of just you, yourself, and your soul as you're about to drift off, sometimes like these boulders of heaviness start to come up to the surface a little bit, and the brain goes, I don't want to deal with that shit. Quite literally, I don't want to deal with that shit. And so it's like darting off in every possible way. And that's why some people have a real resistance to meditation, because meditation is purposely heating these boulders up, and the brain's like, no, I don't want to deal with that. And so if you could just acknowledge all that heaviness first, and you don't even have to relive it or identify, like just using that purple rain technique, or, I'm going to take all this, I release it to the earth, love and light and gratitude, whatever technique you want to do, but just acknowledging that there might be stuff that's starting to come up that is uncomfortable for the ego. And if you acknowledge it and deal with it, now that may just open up the space for you to go, and fall into that sleep.
So we had a couple questions from Annie. We're gonna talk on those for a second, but since we're on this question, I have a lot of spirits that speak to me, so it may help quiet them. In my experience, like you said, there are these beings, your spirit guides, may be really trying to communicate messages to you, and that can cause a lot of like interference and actually like problems for us during the day if we're not giving the space to like actually receive those messages. So yes, if you decide to journey, those beings can come in, and you'll have like a much more open world, like direct way to communicate with them. They can get their messages through, and then there'll be less of that like energy coming through at other times when it's causing you to lose sleep and other things.
Yeah. The other thing that will help with that, an access tool in the Talk to Entities series, is to have what we call office hours. So if you have this, like, because you're so aware that spirits get excited because they can talk to you. So it's just like Grand Central Station. It's more than just your guides. It's like everybody wants to talk because you can see us, right? So if that's the experience, then you pick one day a week or however often you want to do it. Say, 8 o'clock on Mondays is office hours. Anybody can come, and I'll say, hey, who's been longest here first, and you just start maybe having a conversation. But the rest of the time, leave me alone. And a spirit will respect that. But you can also give them the opportunity, if they do want to talk, then okay, what's there to be said? And then a couple questions just to start you off with that is, one, are you for me or for somebody else? If it's for somebody else, okay, great. Do I know them or don't I know them? And if you don't know them, be like, hey, I'm not Long Island Medium. You're going to go have to find someone else, because I'm not going to do that. No, I'm serious. Like that's what happens. So it's like a moth to the flame. They say, wow, this person is aware of me.
Right.
And they get excited. It's just like, well, that person's like in California. So, you're going to have to go find someone that I'm not flying over, so like you're within your power to say, hey, that's not something that I'm in a space to deal with. And if it is somebody that, okay, well, what's the message? And whether or not you're comfortable doing that, then that's up to you. But a lot of times the message may not need to be something like Long Island Medium where you have to give something specific. It could just be like you tell them a metaphor and they get the message, and then if it is for you, then that's a dialogue that you can work out on your own, because then it's specifically for you and someone that or a spirit guide.
And then I just wanted to address, because Dr. Sheena had asked a couple of things. She said, I love the session, and then any effective way to connect with spirit guides.
We have a whole episode on that, don't we?
Do we? I think.
I thought we had a spirit guide episode, but maybe not.
Maybe we have. Well,
today's our 40th episode, people. So if you are interested in seeing all kinds of other fun things, go back to the archive. I could have sworn we had, maybe not connecting with guides. Maybe we just talked about them.
I don't even remember anymore.
Well, go back. There might be a spirit guide episode.
But also, tune in to go on Shaman's Way on YouTube. I have a video on there, how to connect with spirit guides. That's a cool exercise.
I'm thinking about your shamanic meditation probably. And you can also go to shamanswayhealing.com. He teaches classes one-on-one of how to connect with guides. So if you go to his website too, you can just book a session where Casey can actually walk you through exercises and techniques to help connect. So you can do it. There's some free resource. I don't like the word free. There are possibilities on our sites for everybody that is willing to receive it. So you can go and check out the other YouTube channel, all kinds of different things, or even watching Casey do those spirit guide readings. If you watch what he's doing, like in fellowships, one of the things they would teach is you watch what someone's doing and you kind of start to learn from them even through just watching them do it. So watching some of those past episodes where he's connecting with guides and giving those one message, one question messages would probably be a great contribution for you too.
And then Annie says, your throat singing is amazing. Thank you very much. And then, okay, please discuss language of light. Is that shamanic speaking in tongues? We'll probably do, we could probably do like a large section of an episode talking about that.
Yeah. And if this is the Annie that I think it is, it would be similar to the shamanic apprenticeship weekend where we start bringing in our Yanapek and like letting them work through us. So it's just coming through in much in a similar way. And it just, yeah, you could call it the shamanic version of speaking in tongues. It kind of, you're just letting the energy flow through you, the hollow bone for whatever the energy is. And we start by doing that with our spirit guides because that's a very safe place to start doing that type of work.
I was waiting for you to do that, Casey.
She's been waiting for a long time.
That was okay.
Yeah, and she says she doesn't like the energy of free either. Yeah, but as soon as I said, I'm like, that's not the right word. There's resources for people, and if you like the resource, your Aini, which in this tradition means divine reciprocity, your flow would be, hey, share the video. If you go back and you get something out of it, take the time, share the video, recommend it to a friend or something like that, pay it forward a little bit, because we're not doing it to just create free content. We are doing it to create resources for people to have possibilities and create lightness in the world, really.
This Casey's kitty is so polite. She was very polite during that session. I was amazed. I didn't even know she was in the room.
Normally she's way more vocal when she wants out.
She'll let you know. Oh.
Let's see. Did we catch all the questions? I think we got most of them. Any final questions from anybody or comments? I think we covered most of it. It was kind of nice. Everybody was kind of quiet with comments during the session, and then they got active afterwards. It was a very nice respectfulness of the energy. It was great.
And I just want to say real quick for anybody that is looking to connect with your spirit guides, Casey is very, very great at helping find a way to connect to your spirit guides, help you to find a way to connect to your spirit guides. I've had no recollection of my spirit guides until I started practicing with Casey. And yeah, definitely look it up. He will help you figure out how to see your spirit guides, how to communicate with them. And it will open up such a beautiful part to your life. You will be very happy.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my brother. Oh, thank you.
And just to share, I've been around Casey enough where I've heard one of his techniques too. Like he'll walk you through something and then bring you to your own awareness that the connection's always been there and just kind of not really noticed. And now once you notice it, it just cracks open this huge world of possibilities. So
definitely.
Yeah. We are. We're all much more aware of the communication from our guides and the various happenings and the energies around us. We're much more aware of that than we give ourselves credit for. Definitely. And so I help people to realize that you're already doing a lot more than you think in terms of all this magical stuff we're doing. Yeah.
And we just wrote her gratitude for Regina that she was working through a lot of energy the whole time, working on her third and fourth chakras. So a big thank you from Regina. Thank you for sharing. And all that things like body movements and things like that, like your body's doing stuff, could be cellular memory releasing energies and things. It's just your body's natural process of letting it out. So don't think that's anything bad. Actually reminds me of during the silent retreat weekend when I was going through a fellowship studies one weekend that's all silent, and we go through like several rounds of meditation per day, and just right in the middle of someone like broke wind and like everybody just died laughing. It's just like, oh, what great proof we had. And then like once we were able to speak again, then she was like, yeah, that stuff happens. It happens. It's all good. Between the moment, nobody could say anything. Like you can't unhear it. And then this silent retreat and boom, that happens. That was great. Great proof we had from spirit. And they say that laughter releases more than tears. So if you have those moments where you're just enjoying life and laughing, take that moment. Like in that laugh, what could your body be releasing? That was holding on to in that space of that relaxation that occurs right after a good laugh.
And Hank knows when I receive healing sessions, I usually laugh a lot.
Yeah.
The first session I had with Hank, I was just like laughing more than I was on. I think.
That was fun.
You got your spirit high.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm always on a spirit high, Jamison.
Well, if you look,
All
I
the
don't know if you
time.
can see it, but you can see one of my stones back there. I got like these big amethyst geodes and thing there. Behind the camera is another one, so you can really get stoned in my office.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, great.
Oh.
Guys, this was a wonderful session, and I'm very grateful to be on your guys' show every so often. It's a lot of fun, man. Really having a great time.
Yeah, well, maybe Sundays will be the healing day. We'll see. Well, we'll definitely do this again. That's for sure.
Right?
Yeah, that was wonderful.
Yeah, because it's clear. Like Casey works very differently than I, but we work really well together. So
yeah, oh yeah, that was great. Oh, but yeah, for anyone watching, so what we may end up doing, we're going to discuss it. So should I even say what we're kind of thinking about doing for the healings for future ones?
I think we mentioned it at the beginning, didn't we? Or
Okay,
maybe you can mention it.
So what we're thinking about doing is, and I don't know exactly how we're going to select people, but when we do our weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, however often we do it, healing episode like we've done, for future, we may pick people from the audience, people who are watching on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you are, and we may have you come in on the live stream like Jamison is, and do a live healing session for you like that. That may be something that we're doing. So definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you may get to experience your own incredible healing session live.
Yeah. And if anybody's watching on Stir Crazy Shamans, my apologies. We are not getting comments from there, ironically, because of the way we're streaming. So it really has to go to the YouTube channel. So if you've been making comments, we'll be responding to them on the next stream. I got to go back and check their HHH page, Sonic Shaman page. None of the comments are going through. So if you were watching there, thank you. And we're sorry if we didn't address your comments or feedback, but we certainly will in the next stream. Oh, and Regina was asking a question. Should Jamison drink a lot of water to flush out any residual energies?
Drinking a lot of water is a good idea anytime.
Well, the good thing is I drink so much water to begin with. It doesn't help me feel like I don't have a bladder of a squirrel, but water is so good. And yeah, I can't describe. I got a whole case of water sitting right next to me. I just drink all the time, and it's good for everybody. You should always cleansing your body with the most natural thing that we need is always good.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
And if you're going to drink a lot of water, you can charge that up. That's a whole other thing of how you could maybe work with water to be a further contribution. Just as an aside note.
I have done real. We should do an episode about stuff like this, but I once did an experiment for like a whole week, every single glass of water that I drank, I energetically charged and programmed. That was a wild week.
In advanced Reiki training, we did this whole water ceremony, and I drank the water before and after, and it was quite a difference. Or in some of my crystal bowl concerts, I'll make sure the bowl is clean, but I'll put water in one of them, and I charge it up during the whole thing, and then everybody can have a little cup of it at the end. And that is quite an experience as well.
Yeah.
So water and healing, that's another episode. So we got an Alaskan episode that we're going to be bringing up just to talk about Alaska. We got a water episode, future healing episodes. How does it get any better than that?
What else is possible? Oh, all right. Well, I think we're at a pretty good point to kind of wrap it up. Natural conclusion. Jamison, any last thing? Oh, it looks like he's frozen. Oh, there he is. Jamison, any last words you want to share with everyone about healing or what you experienced or anything?
Like I said earlier, faith might not be the right word. Have faith in the energy, have faith in yourself, and healing will come so much easier to you at all times. And I think that's about it for me today.
Thank you. Short and sweet. That's good. Be in the space of allowing, healing. You can heal from everything that ails you instantaneously with a snap of a finger, but you have to be in the space of allowing yourself to receive that. And so, if you're not in the space where you're willing to receive healing, maybe not in the snap of a finger, but any kind of healing at all, start to ask yourself some questions.
Right.
What is it within me that's resisting the process of healing? And just continue to ask these questions like that.
And I didn't know what I was going to say till you said that. And like, well, I'm with a question too. Like, if you just ask this one question every single day, how could I create myself anew today and be the greatest, grandest version of who I can be in this moment than I ever have before? And what would it take? And everything that doesn't allow that, am I willing to destroy, transmute, uncreate, and change it? And if you can ask that question and be in that space throughout all your days, like, it will just continue to get more and more magical. And so ask that question and be an allowance of the magic.
That's great. That's so similar to like a little mantra I have for myself. And like, I always ask the universe to help me to be a better person. And
there you go.
It's always something I do like every day. And what's amazing is that every day I have become better. And it's such a beautiful thing.
Right. And better, energetically, I know the word is being used but better can sometimes, for some people, a judgment of some kind. So I know that's not how Jamison used it energetically, but if you are watching, be just in the energy of the greatest possibility without the skew of judgment of what I was tomorrow was wrong. I know that's not how you meant it, but not everybody knows that. So I just want to mention it. Cool.
Words are such a fickle thing when it comes to the spiritual.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And that's why I wanted to create the context. I'm not like scolding Jamison because energetically he was right where he intended the word to go, but someone going through the filter of the ego might not get it. Cool. Well, thank you. This is so awesome. Hang out for a sec because I do have one other insight from the healing that's just for you. And thank you to everyone else. We'll see you tomorrow for another episode.
Yes, thank you.
Have a good day.
Good night.